Okay, so yeah, there was another abduction, and yeah, this specific instance, I was talking to the reptilian, and the reptilian had told me, he said that basically I was gonna be fighting in Armageddon again, and he said that I'm gonna remember these moves that they're like in my DNA. So when everything falls again, or falls, or whatever kind of apocalypse falls, that he said that I'm gonna know what to do and that I'll be ready because it's in my DNA already, and I already know like all these moves and stuff like that. So we ended up talking, and he had told me that the reason that my brother's music aggravates me is because it's reptilian style music. Like, he was telling me the difference between reptilian stuff and non-reptilian stuff, and he told me that basically my brother's music agitated me because it was reptilian music or something like that. Because I know, like, when he would play these beats that he would make, it would get on my nerves or something like that. And like, so I kind of thought that was interesting. Like, I don't know, it was like, okay. And then he told me that like reptilians like to live in filth and hoarding kind of way. They don't like to live clean. Like, basically, he told me that Anunnaki people are neat and clean, and reptilians are not. He said that reptilians like to live in the hoard and the filth. I mean, my stuff in my car only looks hoarded because I don't have any space to put my stuff, but I do know that in California, a lot of people were hoarders and really filthy, and I know it really, like, was just gross and bothered me, so I guess that's somehow, like, why we started to talk about that or whatever. Um, so then remember, he took me over to this board, and he started to show me like the continent, like the whole, all these different countries and stuff. So the reptilian began to tell me what was going to happen basically with this apocalypse. He told me like what countries he was going to nuke first. He said the first country that's going to get nuked is Australia. And the thing that interests me about that is, oh my god, you know what? I did research, and I looked at all the gray aliens. Like, most of the gray aliens are in Australia because that's where all the fluoride is. There's a bunch of fluoride there or something like that, and they go where the fluoride is. So I kind of thought, wow, that's interesting. And then at the same time, yeah, he did try to tell me that like John was in Australia or something like that, and that like, yeah, I was supposed to, go like get a ticket and go down there. It's like, what the fuck, like. I don't know, something like that. So yeah, so he said he's gonna nuke Australia first. Next was gonna be the United Kingdom. And then he showed me like whatever else. It was like, okay. um yeah, he kinda explained all this stuff, and it's like, oh wow, okay. So the next thing I know, I remember the Archons did something else, something to hurt me. Like, I know on the ship I was being, physically harmed and attacked or something. So these Archons did like something hurt me. I remember like the Archon was standing there. I remember like somebody having to like drag me away because I was like ready to, kind of like when somebody's gonna attack someone has to hold someone back. I was gonna attack the Archon in a minute because it just was getting to be too much. It was getting to be too hostile of an environment and too much. So, the next thing I know, what happened was on the ship, this guy came, and this guy was an Asian guy. And I remember he took me into this room, like he, took me to this room to talk. And this room had, it was just a regular room, and he was in normal human form, like definitely completely normal. And it was just a normal room with like a desk and stuff. And so he sat down. I remember he had all these papers, and he spread them out on the table, and we spoke for a minute. And he had told me basically what it seemed was going on was he had all these papers, and he was like going to take me out of this situation, I guess. Like, he basically was letting me know that I wasn't going to be going to the ship anymore, that I wasn't going to be, taking on the ship anymore and going through these abductions. Maybe he found out about the abuse that was going on the spaceship or something like that, but it seemed like he was there to intervene. And I talked with him in the room, and I remember he just said that basically I wasn't going to be working anymore, like, with this job, like, whatever I was doing, like, doing these missions and stuff like that. And I remember being kind of sad because I liked the missions that, were in my past life and stuff, but I was being harmed and stuff, so I know it was good that he took me out of the situation or whatever he did. So Yeah, so he basically, I guess, maybe signed these papers and took me out of whatever this was. Maybe, I don't know, the alien breeding program, or I don't know what he did. But yeah, he signed some papers, and then I remember after that, I no longer dealt with any more abductions or anything. I didn't see any more archons. I didn't deal with any more um, abductions. Like, that was it. Like, that was the end of that. So, yeah, so I thought that was pretty interesting, and I didn't know who the man was. I had no idea, but yeah, he was definitely on the ship, and I am pretty curious about it. I do think I wonder if he was like intervening after he saw everything that was done, or I don't know if maybe some other reports were filed or something, or I'm not sure, but yeah, he definitely did something, and I don't know whether he got the archons in trouble or what happened, but yeah, something happened with that. So yeah, so I just wanted to share that abduction experience, and yeah, don't forget my emails in the description box if you have any questions or comments, and thank you so much.